Hello babes, my name is Mina. Welcome back to my channel, Mina Reads. Today we're going to be starting off a weekly reading vlog. I'm feeling like the vibe for this week is maybe fantasy. I don't know, but I just wanted to vlog and kind of take you guys through my week of just like reading and like working, how I balance the two, and how I find time for my hobbies in the midst of a busy work week. So I'm really excited to be doing this, and I'm also going to show you guys my outfit. I'm about to go to work in like 5 minutes actually. I'm also going to show you guys my outfit. And I want to talk about how this video is very kindly being sponsored by Luisa. Luisa is my all-time favorite jewelry company. I just adore them so much. They're a longtime partner of the channel, and they are just the absolute best. So one thing about them, they are a New York-based sustainable jewelry company. They offset their carbon emissions, which is just so important to me in the times that we're living in the climate crisis. Like, it's important to me that companies are cognizant of the environmental impact that their manufacturing is having. So I really appreciate that about Luisa. But obviously, one of the things that we come back to them over and over again is the jewelry and the quality of it. So I'm going to show you the earrings that I'm wearing today. I absolutely adore these earrings. They're so cute, and I just feel like Luisa's jewelry is so perfect, so understated, but they have such beautiful designs, and they just work so well for every day, but also special occasions. I get so many compliments every day on my earrings and my jewelry, and it's just a nice way to spice up like a typical office outfit, you know. And I really love how long their jewelry lasts. I feel like it's just long-lasting quality jewelry that you really can't go wrong with anything in their catalog. This necklace that I'm wearing is also a necklace that I got from them last year, and when I tell you that I pretty much have not taken this off since I got it originally, like, I just love it so much, and it just perfectly suits my style. It's perfectly understated, so it matches with pretty much every outfit that I wear, and so I've barely taken it off. And even through, you know, wearing it pretty much every day wear and tear, I wear in the shower, no tarnishing. I have had no problems, and even if I did have any problems, Luisa is awesome because they do give you a 2-year warranty on your items. You could definitely check them out and feel secure in your purchases in case anything does go wrong. They're just such an amazing company with such gorgeous pieces, so I would highly recommend checking them out if you haven't already. There is going to be a link in my description below. I absolutely highly recommend checking them out, especially since Valentine's Day is right around the corner. So if you're in need of a last-minute gift for your boo, this is definitely the way to go. They have fast and free shipping in the US, and they have really affordable shipping if you're outside of the US. Also, if you're just trying to get something for yourself, I know that I would definitely be buying something for myself. They have so much cool stuff on their website. It's like, I just have to physically hold myself back from buying everything in sight because they're just that amazing. So I definitely recommend checking them out. There will be a link in my description. Thank you so much to them for sponsoring this video. And yeah, so I have to head to work now. After work, I'm gonna get into some reading. I'm thinking that this week's mood is like fantasy. I definitely need to read The Hobbit this week, but I don't know what other book I want to pick up. I think I should pick up a fantasy book that is sitting on my NetGalley shelf that I probably should have read like last year. So I'm thinking maybe like a 2024 fantasy. We'll see what's on my NetGalley shelf, and I will update you once I start reading something. You were on the phone. Yeah.
That's a cute. Is that a dress or a top?
It's a top. Thank you. I've decided what book I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read Swordcrossed by Freya Marske. And I'm whispering because I don't want my coworkers to hear me filming in here. I'm in the middle of reading this book called Swordcrossed by Freya Marske, and I just had to come on here and talk to you guys about it because this book is actually so gag worthy. I'm shook and shaken. Maybe that is because I did not read the synopsis very carefully. I went into this book thinking that it was like a fantasy romance about this guy learning how to sword fight, and like he was falling in love with his like sword fighting instructor, but the concept is actually much more gag worthy than that, and so that's my fault for not paying attention, not reading carefully. But this book is essentially about this character named Maddie. Maddie is a part of this like aristocratic family who is very well known and respected for like their wool trading company or something like that, but they've had several bad years and they are going super duper broke. So Maddie is in this arranged marriage with a girl named Sophia that's going to help his family like gain a bunch of money like through the marriage, and so it's really important that the marriage goes through for Maddie and his family's financial situation. The only thing is that in this world, at weddings, if someone wants to do the whole like I object thing, they object, but also they like duel, they challenge. And so in this world there is a best man, but the best man is a duelist who fights the challenger on your behalf. So our character Maddie, he is trying to get a duelist who will fight off this person that is like suing for Sophia's hand, and he ends up hiring this random like con man. It's this whole thing, but he ends up hiring this random con man named Luca that he has lots of tension and chemistry with, and this is about Luca being his best man. Luca is also like giving him secret sword fighting lessons, and they are slowly but surely falling in love, mostly falling in lust at the point I'm at. I'm like 25% in, but girl, it was so gag rated. They were at a sword fighting lesson or whatever, so they're sword fighting, you know, whatever, they're going back and forth. Baby, the power dynamic between them is crazy. Like, this one's giving instructions, this one's being bratty. The next thing I knew, like, the one character was sucking the other character's fingers. Like, hold on, what's happening, what's going on? Mind you, Maddie is supposed to be getting married to this woman Sophia, and for an additional gag, I think that Sophia may or may not, I can't confirm this, but I think that Sophia may or may not be seeing Maddie's sister. So it's a whole gag and a half. It's like everything in the world that could be going on is going on. Now again, I can't confirm the thing about his fiance Sophia and his sister. I think his sister's name is Mary, I'm forgetting. But I feel like they had this one scene, this one interaction, and there was like a hand on the shoulder and like a meaningful eye contact moment that I was like, they might be a little bit more than friends and potential sisters-in-law. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was something going on there. Just something a little bit suspicious. So I got my eye on them. But Luca and Maddie, their whole sword fighting thing is crazy. And the scene that I'm reading right now, Luca invited Maddie to his house, and he was like, oh, like, we should have a drink, you know, because they don't like each other, so they're enemies, so they're always like bantering and being mean to each other in these like sword fighting lessons or whatever. And so Luca's like, well, maybe we'll see if we can like each other better when we get a drink at my house. Mind you, Luca literally just sucked Maddie's fingers in the other scene. So I can only imagine what they're going to get up to for this drink. So yeah, I mean, I really don't know what I expected, especially with this book having like this, you know, like illustrated cover and stuff. I was definitely not expecting it to be like explicit the way it is. It's like very horny. It's not like straight up erotica or anything, but it's like very sexually charged, which I was not expecting at all. And mind you, he's doing all this in preparation for getting married. Like, he's about to get married. So I had the day off, and I'm just doing a couple things around the house, cleaning up, doing some laundry and stuff like that. So I've been listening to the audio while I do, you know, my morning tasks. I might film today, I don't know, I haven't decided, but I will keep you updated on the book and how that's going, because it's a doozy. Like, this is very much crazy. Very much crazy. I'm having a ball. I'm having a great time reading it. It's very entertaining, but Oh my god. All right, babes, so I'm about 50, no, I'm lying. I think I'm like 40% into swordcrossed, and I'm still really enjoying it, but it's introducing this element of like, I don't want to say it's insider trading. That's not the right phrasing for it, but there's like this aspect of Maddie's family is like in dire straits financially. That's sort of like the whole point of the narrative, and like why he's getting in this arranged marriage, because his family needs the money and all that kind of stuff. But come to find out, there's some other like business shadiness going on, and we're really like delving into the details of this like wool trading company that he has. And I'm sorry to say that I don't give two shits about wool and the trading of it, and the business aspects of any of that. So every time they talk about that, I just completely zone out. I think that they should do a little bit more sword fighting, a little bit more sword practice training stuff, because the business stuff, baby, I don't care. I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. We don't care. So I hope they will talk about that a little bit less as the story goes on, because I can't say that I'm very interested. But I do still have my eye on the fiance Sophia and Maddie's sister, because that is definitely, there is something there. There's something going on, and I still have my eye on them. So, in a good way. I'm very happy about that. But I'm looking, and I'm clocking every single interaction. So that's my little update. I'm gonna go have dinner. I'm having Indian takeout, so I'm excited about that. Gonna get my garlic naan and butter chicken, and I think I'm gonna go on a little walk this evening after I eat. But it's like freezing. Oh my god, it's only 19 degrees. Can you see that? It's only 19 degrees. It's only 19 degrees, so going on a walk is crazy. But I do need to walk my dog. She has not gone out besides like this morning, because she really hates the cold and she hates the snow. But I think a lot of the snow should have melted already, so hopefully she'll go on this walk and she'll go potty and things will be good, so she won't try to destroy my house. So yeah. Okay, girl, I'm back from work. It's many hours later. It's like 9 p.m. right now. And I'm still reading Swordcrossed, y'all. And this shit is so messy. My Kindle is actually about to die. I'm on like 2% right now. But this book is so messy. And right now the girls are fighting, which is exactly what you would imagine, considering it's called Swordcrossed and it's about sword fighting and stuff like that. But the girls are fighting and I wasn't expecting it. But this book is just pure and unadulterated mess from start to finish. And I'm just so completely and utterly shook by it. It's just messy and entertaining. Like, first of all, Luca and Maddie were so criminal for getting down and dirty and freak nasty at Maddie's fiance's family estate. Why would they do that? Why would their first time be at his fiance's abode? Like, that's crazy as shit. They're just absolutely outlandish and crazy. And then the way that events are transpiring from there, I'm not gonna like spoil more of it, but like, girl, the gag, the plot twist, the reveals, I'm shook. I really don't know what else to say about it, but it's just like very much crazy. I'm at 70% in. I want to read a little bit more before I go to bed, but also like it's stressing me out because the story is at like a turning point and there's like some mess and some strife, and I don't know if I'm in the mood to read about these two lovers fighting. So I may actually pick up I just dropped it, so okay. But I may actually pick up The Hobbit. I'm reading this one for the Middle Earth along with Aaron from Booked and Busy and a few other creators. But yeah, so I am reading this. I'm only 17 pages into it, but I could read some more of this, and our live show for the book is on the 25th, so I definitely need to make a little bit more progress. So maybe I'll read a few pages of this before I go to sleep. Maybe I'll read more about the messy gaze. I don't know, we'll see. Decisions, you know. Okay, hi friends. So let me give you a quick update. So yesterday was Friday. I was supposed to have like really fun Friday evening plans, but things did not go according to plan. I was supposed to go to this film screening for Dinner in America, and the actors Emily Skeggs and Kyle Gallner was going to be there, and I absolutely love Kyle Gallner. Like, he's one of my favorite actors, so I was so excited about that. And my whole evening just kind of got derailed because I ended up finding out that I lost my wallet. Have no idea when or where. I spent like most of my evening trying to track it down and calling like every establishment I've been to in the last like few days and everything like that, but I was unsuccessful in finding it. But that just sort of like derailed my whole evening, like trying to find it and figure out where I put it, and it just like, it kind of messed up my evening plans, which sucked. So I didn't wake up like in the best of moods, but I need to turn things around. And so I just wanted to kind of quickly do a little bit of housekeeping and give you my final thoughts and rating on Swordcrossed by Freya Marske. So I gave Swordcrossed a 4-star. I really enjoyed it. Like, it was just everything that I didn't know I was hoping for from the book, but it was so good. And I would definitely start off by saying that if you have already read A Taste of Golden Iron and you really loved that book, I think you would like this one as well. It's sort of a similar setting where it's like a historical fantasy. There's not a whole lot of magic in it, but we do get sort of like that old-timey feel, and it's like very aristocratic, and it deals sort of with like class difference and things like that. I think that if you enjoyed that aspect, if you enjoyed kind of like the tension and the messiness and sort of the scandal of the relationship in that, you would definitely enjoy that here in Swordcrossed. Things are even more scandalous in Swordcrossed, actually, and I thought that Swordcrossed was really fun, really funny. It was just like a really great time on the whole. I will say that the one reason I can't really give it like a 5-star, I really love the main cast of characters, like Luca and Maddie. They were really good, really interesting characters. I like the side characters as well, but I feel like, I don't know, it just didn't give me that like fully 5-star feeling. And I will also say that this book deals with like Maddie's family and his like wool trading business, and the wool trading stuff was so boring. Did not care at all. So that sort of took me out of the story at certain points, but I think that for the most part, like, it was just really fun, really entertaining, very silly. And I don't want to like spoil too much of the good stuff because it's just so wild and crazy that you kind of have to read it for yourself. But very much a good time was had by me. So now It is Saturday, and it is the day of the first live show for the Middle Earth Along that I'm doing with Aaron from Booked and Busy, Gavin from Gavin Reads It All, Leanne from Leanne's Library, Darian from, I wanted to say it's Darian the Librarian, but that may or may not be true. But I know that the creator's name is Darian, and then also Tammy from Tammy Reads. I'll leave them all linked in the description below, as well as our live show, because this should be up by the time I'm posting this video. But it's the day of our live show, and I'm actually not done reading The Hobbit. So I've got a few hours before our live show, and I need to keep on reading so I can actually like finish and be able to participate in our discussion. But what can I tell you about what I've read of The Hobbit thus far? So far, I'm really loving it. It's obviously very different in tone to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, like the main trilogy. I have read Fellowship of the Ring, and just like the tone is super different. But this one is very much more light and airy, even though there's a lot of like crazy high stakes things going on. But I will say that I really like Bilbo's character. He's very lovable, he's very fun, he's very tricky and smart, and I really enjoy that about him. My favorite chapter so far has been Riddles in the Dark, and that chapter was so good. Like the way that the tension was written in that scene was so perfect, because it's actually like, this scene is a little bit silly, and this is a scene where Bilbo, he encounters Smeagol in the tunnels, and he is trying to convince Smeagol to guide him out of like this goblin cave that he's in, but Smeagol wants to eat him. So him and Smeagol come to this agreement that they are going to play a game of riddles, and whoever can't solve a riddle, you know, they're going to go back and forth, and whoever can't solve the riddle, they lose, essentially. And so, you know, if Bilbo loses, he gets eaten. And if Smeagol loses, he has to help Bilbo escape the Goblin Cave. And this is like a really good chapter, because it is like kind of silly, but the way that Smeagol is described is just so ominous and creepy, and the way like his movements are described is just like so like it just kind of sends chills down your spine. And I also have been listening in tandem to the audiobook, and Andy Serkis's narration is so good. And obviously he plays Smeagol, he's the voice actor for Smeagol in the film series, so it's like, of course he gets Smeagol's voice absolutely right, but he's just so good, and he puts so much energy into it, and it's just like, it's just so good. I really am enjoying it. I will say the one thing about reading this is that I feel like the dwarves themselves, like they're all sort of blending together. They don't really have any personality, and I think it's hard to differentiate them. But I do think I've memorized all of their names, so I'm gonna try to say them off the top of my head. So it's Oin, Gloin, Ori, Dori, Nori, Dwalin, Balin, Biffer, Boffer, Bomber, and then who else? And then obviously there's Thorin, but then that would mean that there's two more that I'm missing. Oh, Killy and Philly. Yeah, so Thorin, Killy, and Philly. So I think that's all of the 13 dwarves that are in the story, but I feel like most of them, they don't have a lot of personality outside of like Killy and Philly. They constantly are getting sent on an errand, and I think they're related to Thorin, like very closely related to him, like maybe they're his nephews or something like that, I don't know. And Thorin, he's kind of just a dickhead, like don't like him pretty much at all. But yeah, like I'm enjoying the reading experience. I'm definitely excited to talk about this with my co-host for the Middle Earth Along. I think that'll be really fun, but I do need to hurry up and like actually read and finish it. I have about 80 pages left, so I can definitely do that within a few hours, but I'm cutting it very close. So let me start reading. Okay, wait, I have to say one more thing. I do not like Gandalf. I don't like him. Like, why is he always on a side quest when we need him in the main quest? Like, why the fuck did he leave them in Mirkwood? That actually really upset me. He was like, you guys just hope for the best, and left. Like, are you fucking kidding? Before you send them into the evil enchanted forest, you say hope for the best? Evil. Alright babes, after pretty much 84 years, I have finally finished the Hobbit trilogy, and I think that if I were to give a rating to each movie, I would give An Unexpected Journey 3 stars, maybe like a 3.5 star. I would give The Desolation of Smaug maybe maybe 3.5 as well, and then I would give Battle of the Five Armies like a 2 maybe. I really did not like the last movie. I think that these movies are fun, like perfectly entertaining. I have spent so long hearing people talk badly about these films that I honestly went into it expecting that they was going to be kind of like the worst movie I ever saw in my life. And it's not. I think the CGI is kind of bad in these, and you can tell, like, even though theoretically we made strides in terms of the CGI technology, like a lot of the practical effects, especially on the monsters, like on the orcs and the orcai in the first trilogy, I think that those look way better than like the horrible CGI monster like Azog the Defiler or whatever. He looks like shit. Like, he looks really bad and cheesy. And I think a lot of the action sequences look kind of cheesy because of the way that the CGI looks in some of the scenes. But I mean, overall, like, it's not the worst film series that I've ever seen. So I don't know. I feel like people who like deeply hate these movies are just sort of comparing them to how utterly fantastic the original film trilogy is. And that film trilogy is like kind of the best that cinema has ever been and probably will ever be. So I don't even feel like it's a fair comparison to put them against each other. But I do think that the Hobbit trilogy is like a perfectly decent fantasy romp. So I'm glad that I finally read it and watched these movies. I'm glad I finally got to watch the film trilogy and I got to spend this week with you guys. I think I'm gonna end the video here because I kind of don't see myself reading anything else this week. And I have some other vlogs planned, but they're kind of themed vlogs, so it makes sense to sort of just end the journey here. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you to Anna Luisa for sponsoring this video. Do be sure to check out their Valentine's Day sale in the link in my description below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, you guys.